All right, everybody, welcome to the game. So sorry for the late and delayed start there. Had a couple of production issues, but we are back on it. Unfortunately, we were unable to see the draft for a second, but here it is. So we have on the T side of things. Oh, looks like a viewing thing is. Okay, there we go. Sorry, we had another little mishap there, but it looks like King Wizard is going to start things off alongside the other pick that happened, which was from Rack getting a kill onto the Yoru. So our first map is going to be on Lotus. Let's take things a little bit slower just to kind of broaden the horizon a little bit. When it comes to the overall macro size of the game, we're going to be starting on Lotus. This was Tarleton State's pick, as that is the team that we're playing this week.
Spike planted.
And we decided to start on the CT side first. So them starting on attack, they were able to get the spike planted early on C side with a lurk from Chamber, despite having a lurk, or despite having 2 down. So now it's going to be a little bit of an unfavorable post plant for them, as now we're going to bring it down, and just instantly like that, Mystic gets double, and Boats is able to clean up the rest. So that's going to be a nice retake from the side of the Seawolves as we win our first round on Lotus. So once again, was a little bit of a delayed start. Apologies for that. But if we're just going to look at the macro side of things in terms of team comps, we got our Seawolves on the green side and Tarleton State on red. It's a little different than what you guys see on the viewing standpoint, but we got Yoru on Mystic on Yoru, Boats on Brim, Rack on Raze, and King Wizard or Phoenix on Vice. And then making their debut for the Valorant team will be King Wizard, who's subbing out for the previous starter of Sonata. So King Wizard starting things for the team this week. So best of luck towards him. So let's see how this team comp goes towards. And on the opposing side, we got Raze, Fade, Omen, Yoru, and Chamber. Nade goes out. Looks like the execute is going to be on the B side. Vice Wall goes up, so it's going to be pretty much just the Raze on site, and she's going to die to Boats. Clean kill from him. This is going to force the team out a little bit. Phoenix is really keen onto this. Here's the door open. Doesn't know if they're going to go towards C, but it looks like Tarleton's actually going to wrap out and just go straight to A. Quite a long rotate, and it's a little bit risky, but it actually worked out for them perfectly. It looks like that Rack is going to get a huge amount of info off of this. Guns are still very minimized for Tarleton, but it's going to be Mystic now with his Marshall, able to get one shot and get the clean kill onto the opposing Yoru. But it's going to be Rack. He gets his satchel up in time, trying to look for any sort of pick possible. Flash is going to come through. He sees the Omen on his left side. He doesn't really hear the comm that goes through. They're able to get the pick with the Sheriff, but now it's going to be all up to Rack with the 2 kills and gets the clean picks on the back of the util. Both our duelists, especially from our last match, Rack and Mystic doing a fantastic job so far. Starting off with 4 kills and 3 kills, 3-0. Rack, being the MVP of last match, just absolutely went crazy when it came to this map of Lotus on his Raze. So we'd love to see exactly what all changed, or what all changes going into this one. Tarleton State, if you guys see on the top left, they are also 1-0, previously winning their first match 2-0, just like we did. So they're also a very formidable team. So the winner of this one, or the loser rather, will have a stain on their record after this game. And the other one will be leaving 2-0, which is a very favorable start, especially when you look at the grand scheme of things, when you want to push for playoffs. Sync's going to get the first pick onto King Wizard. A little bit of an over peek, but it's going to be Boats in response. He hears the footsteps that are going through, sees all the remaining players. Flash is going to go out. He's going to push right up off of it, but not able to get the pick needed. It's going to be Mystic next to the swing. Gets one, gets two with the Sheriff. Now it's all going to be up to Rack. Gets the spray, but he's not able to land it. And now Phoenix, last one remaining. They get the vision onto him, and the Raise Nade's going to force him off. This is highly unfortunate and a little bit of a precarious situation. But given the fact that you are on a bonus round, they've pretty much dealt the necessary damage needed. Yeah, and I mean, even if he didn't get the kill there, breaking the shield, it still breaks their eco quite a bit. Ray's the one that got most of the kills, so in terms for her, she's not really going to be able to get much going. So now this is looking extremely strong so far. Looks like a very fast C push that's going to be going on for Tarleton right now. That's whether or not UAA really responds to this. Phoenix is going to see a bunch of them, and he's going to have to alert the remaining members of the Sea Wolves to get onto site. It's going to be Showstopper online as well. It's going to be shot and land straight to boats. So now already an unfavorable 5v3 going into this round. Mystic should know exactly where they planted last time around. That's going to be the decoy that comes out. He's able to at least deal a ton of damage. Not able to secure the kill onto the Omen. Deals more damage towards Yoru. Flicks onto the Raze. Able to clean up that pick. And there's going to be a bunch of these members that are extremely hurt here. Flash goes through. It's able to at least stun after the decoy hit. But still, nonetheless, it is a 2v4 with some broken economy. And at this point, it's looking like... Okay, here we go. I had to switch it to right hands. Yeah, it looks like UAA is going to save and try to play exits here. Wizard might get caught out. Gets a little lucky there, as the chamber does not deal the final blow. So they'll be at least going with guns going into this next round, but can't really say the same for the remaining members of UAA. 2-2 now, so still extremely strong. Lotus a little bit more of an attacking favored map, given the fact that it is 3 sites. Most 3-site maps are your attacker sided, more favorable maps, especially with all these doors. It gives the attackers a lot of room to play around with. But it's all up to the defense of whether or not they're going to take these A main, B main, C main areas like Mound and such. Looks like Mystic will be going along with the Yoru ult, trying to figure out exactly where they are. He makes the correct 50-50, guessing that they are going to be coming in from A main here. He shoots the Cypher trip. He's going to go out with the flash as well. He only has a shorty, though, so he's going to TP out, but it's going to be Wizard on the site that is able to get the first pick. 2 more members from UA are on this backside, so they do have a really nice pinch setup, but it's all up to Phoenix here to see whether or not he's going to stay alive. Unfortunately for Rack, he's going to die. Stinger's not able to get the kill, and if you're Tarleton, you pretty much know that you have a free rotate right out of there. They're going to be able to take it now, so whether or not they land up at B or C is going to be extremely important for Phoenix now, as utilizing his util to slow down Tarleton is going to be super important here. He hears them all going towards Mound. He's going to activate the Thorns for now, and only with the shorty in hand, it's going to be Mystic as he gets spotted. King Wizard on the back end is going to die to that lurk from Raze. And now he's going to go out, gets the shorty pick, able to pick up the Vandal. He could deal some more damage. Oh, he's not able to do so. It's going to be Phoenix now, sees the pick, but just not able to flick the mouse up in time. Phoenix is down, and it's going to be a little bit of an unfortunate round for UAA, despite it being a broken eco. But now with a full buy, hopefully. It doesn't look like Boats is able to purchase, unfortunately, but now with a decent buy, they will be able to kind of play around this and see what they can do. These rounds have been going by incredibly fast. Tarleton being a super aggressive team, especially with that double duelist comp. They pretty much are mirroring our comp fairly similarly. It's just different controllers, different senties. Eye's going to go out. Going to get shot immediately. It looks like Tarleton's well aware of where that eye goes to. It looks like UAA actually opted to go for a full save here. So Sheriffs all across the board. And we've seen this before. UAA is not a team to sleep on when it comes to the Sheriffs. They get 2 more with the Sheriffs. 1 more remaining. Showstopper online. He's going to get the shot off. And all that's left is Omen. Nelaps is going to be on the back of the side. I don't even think Vandal. Yeah, UAA has no clue where he is. They have no clue that he's just sitting on site. He's going to get shot by Phoenix. Or he's going to get the kill onto Phoenix, rather. Has Spike on site, but they all know that they're there now. I mean, when it comes to UAA and these Sheriffs, they're just no joke. You cannot count them out in these eco rounds. Alright, so now they know where he is. Should be Boats the one to collapse. He's going to swing, gets the TP down, sees that he's in tree, and a beautiful shot to clean up the thrifty round for UAA. Beautiful stuff. That's going to capitalize round 6. Now going into 7. Now we'll be able to full buy. Beautiful stuff for UAA so far. And now as the more ultimates come online, both showstoppers were utilized, and that chamber ult definitely might be utilized this round as well, or going into next round. Despite how this one goes with a broken buy or broken eco, we'll see how things pan out. But the same as previous rounds, Tarleton has had a lot of success on this C side of things. Looks like Yora's going to get that TP. Phoenix knows exactly where it's coming from, so he's just going to have to utilize his way out of sight. He's going to try to get away for the time being. Bucky goes through, but he's going to deal a ton of damage now. Brim does have his orbital strike. Looks like he's going to be cooking it up. Utilizes it on site. That denies both the default plant and the spot that they were planting earlier. So there's a really good use of util there. Phoenix is going to get the first pick onto site, onto the chamber. So all traps do go down. They still have not been able to get this spike down. And because they're taking so long, Mystic's able to sneak through and get the kill. Phoenix Razor follows it up with one of his own. And now it's a 4v1 effectively, as Fade is the only one left in this C main side. They see Spike. They know that it's clear. And after the swing comes through, it's a team ace. Beautiful shot from Rack with the operator. And they're going to clean up house. 4-3 scoreline now for UAA. Let's take a peek at the scoreboard here. Mystic leading the charge with the Yoru, sitting at 9-4. With Rack and Boats not too far behind, sitting at 5-3, 5-4 as well. On the opposing end, Dark Knight and Mozzie have been the ones to lead the charge, as well as Nelaps as well. And despite Sync having a slow start, they are taking a lot of space towards whatever site they hit. And talk about sync, unfortunately. They're just not in sync with the team and are going to be taken out with that op. Beautiful shot from Rack to find that first blood. But as things quiet down and close out, Phoenix is going to have to hold his poise here, knowing that the remaining members are coming toward that C side. TP's going to come through as they hear the smokes go down, but I don't even think they knew it was a bait all along. King Wizard holding his own onto the A side, gets a beautiful shot onto the Rays. So now they're just gonna have to hold it down, see whatever happens. Looks like Wizard gets a call that things are going towards C, so he's going to kind of go over there. Omen TP gets utilized by the enemy Omen, and that should alert King Wizard that things are going towards his site. He has utility to kind of scout this out. Here's the spike being planted as well. Has to be aware of this. Nice shot onto from King Wizard onto Nelaps. And now in a 5v2 scenario, Tarleton is an extreme disadvantage here. They have no clue exactly where these remaining members are. Nade's going to go out, so they at least spot the Fade. They still don't know exactly where the chamber is, though. Still looking for him. It's going to be King Wizard. Sees him. And as he gets the TP out, they don't know that he's still in tree. They're going to get this swing off, and a beautiful shot from Mystic will shut that down. 5-3 scoreline now for UAA as they keep rumbling on the defense. Phoenix will get things started off of that first pick as he's just holding down this site. He's able to pop both before death, so at least the remaining members of UAA will be able to at least mess around as much as possible with this shot. Showstopper goes on, and it's going to be a trade as he's able to kill the Rays before biting the bullet, or biting the bazooka bullet, rather. Hopefully King Wizard holds on to his ultimate there. I was a little scared that he was going to pop his ult, but it looks like they know that this rotate has gone down. Whether or not it's going towards B or A, it doesn't look like Rack really knows, but he's going to be holding things down until they hear that spike plant. That's when they'll know that things are going towards A. It's going to be Fatal to be held on, just waiting for the team. It's going to get popped a little bit early and actually doesn't get anyone. Rack's going to be holding this, sees the shot. Oh, he's not able to hit it, though. Beautiful swing from Nalaps there. Nice shot. But an even better shot from Boats in a 1v2 led to a 1v1. Stim Beacon goes out and he wins that 1v1 every day of the week. Nice clutch from Boats, bringing us to 6-3 scoreline. Huge stuff from the rookie on Valorant.
Some things you just can't teach.
And that's going to pull the timeout now from Tarleton. So each team has 2 timeouts per game, just no matter what half it is. So it looks like they're, you know, a little bit shaken, especially after that 1v2. Got to catch a breath. Got to just tell your team, you know, it's perfectly fine. And then if you're UAA, of course, just calming exactly how things are going. You definitely want to take this time out to look at the economy of the enemy team. You want to look at the ults that they have, because right now you should definitely be looking that they have chamber ult, that it could be utilized. You could definitely piece together the fact that they have a broken buy, so they're probably going to use the chamber ult. So it's definitely important to look at that stuff, especially Fatal. So now you can really pinpoint. I know that UAA, I'm pretty sure we have an op, right? Yeah, so Rack. So given the fact that you're kind of narrowing this stuff down, you have to pay attention to that and make sure, you know, where could this chamber be peaking at? What are angles that we shouldn't look at? What are angles that we should chow? Maybe I would definitely say Rack holding this A stairs angle is very favorable for him in previous rounds. But for this round in particular, with that chamber TP, with that chamber ult, I think it would definitely be a little bit better possibly if he's holding a different off angle. Maybe even holding it wider would be even more ballsier or just more risky. But just anything to throw this chamber off. I mean, they'll know immediately that he has ult once he pops it. They actually should know now. Last time I played Valorant, he should know. And I mean, right here, he's holding just pretty much the most default angle that you can. Shoots a little bit of warning shot. Doesn't look like Chamber's going to be shooting anything of his own. He's a little bit of a questionable omen smoke, because it looks like Chamber was trying to get some aim down on that site, but kind of negates the enemy chamber from having any sort of line of sight. Of course, if they were scared to lose that duel, then that makes sense, but I mean, if you have confidence in your team, you might as well just not smoke it. Phoenix is going to get actually super aggressive here, and he wins an early duel up against the enemy Yoru, kind of backed by Mystic there, so it was definitely a play that they were ready to make. King Wizard, before rotating out, he's actually going to hear these members, and he gets the first pick onto the chamber, so that's going to be a Vandal and the ult down. I will come through and at least get shot so they know that he's coming through. Mystic sees the fade out of the smoke. Smoke's not able to bind or blind the enemy omen before he can escape.
30 seconds left.
So now with only 30 seconds remaining, Tarleton in a 2v4, very not favorable for them. They're going to have to try to find a way in exactly what side that they want to pick. And, I mean, this has been pretty much the same exact thing every single round. They push one side, it kind of fails, they rotate to the next. So, it looks like UA is reading this. They hear the sound. Double Satchel goes on to the side of C. It doesn't look like Phoenix is able to hit the shots needed, however. So, this bomb will go down. So, time not being of the essence, unfortunately. It'll allow them to go through. And it gets a little bit of a shots down. That's going to be Boats getting the first pick. And now in a 1v3, and Elapse is not able to clear it. And despite the timeout, it is not able to help effectively enough for Tarleton. And they're unfortunately going to drop the round, leading us to 7-3 half on Tarleton's map pick too. So definitely a very favorable game so far for UAA. Early fight will be going on to Seaside. Phoenix makes a little bit of a fatal step there, kissing death in the eyes. As unfortunately he will fall. Wizard has been pretty much elected to stay on this site. He's gonna unfortunately get the pick onto Nalapse, and he wasn't even supposed to kill that player, which is kind of funny. Mystic unfortunately missing unfortunate shots there as well, but Rack at least cleans things up. So we're sitting even for the most part in terms of numbers. In terms of health and eco, however, UAA is definitely above water. Flash comes through.
One enemy remaining. Spike down. C.
And it's going to be a 1v2 now. So now waiting to see exactly how he's going to play this. Gets the vision on towards Wizard. He's not able to get the pick. Rack is going to whiff, unfortunately. And now after the second pick, he doesn't miss twice. Beautiful stuff. And we find ourselves up 8-3. Taking a peek at the scoreboard. Once again, 2 ults will be online and hopefully utilized. It's going to be the Orbital Strike and the Yoru ult. The Gate Crash. And the rest of the remaining members on UAA are doing a fantastic job so far. Looks like Rack has an arsenal of weapons that he can fall back to, whether it be an Op, Judge, or Vandal. Given the situation, he just has to fall back and play whatever he wants. I like this little off angle here. It's a fairly default angle given the smoke, but you can at least find a nice shot. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to find it. So that's going to be an op down. Mystic also sprays as well. A bunch of sprays through this smoke and a lot of misdirected gunfire. Phoenix is actually going to catch this lurk, catch 2 kills. He's going to get spotted by the Fade Eye, but not able to deal the final blow. Still gets a ton of damage dealt onto that enemy Fade. So still a really nice lurk to catch the rotating members of Tarleton. So now in a 2v2 now. They do not have ult advantage. Showstopper and Nightmare are online for this Fade and Raise. That's going to be the Orbital Strike that goes online. Showstopper goes through and it's able to clear that member. Nade will go out as well as the Nightmare. So now it's going to be very unfavorable now for King Wizard. Making his debut onto the team. Let's see exactly what he's able to cook up. A 1v2 would be very fantastic for him. But this Raise rotating, I don't even know if he's going to be able to read that. This Fade is extremely hurt, and now he's going to get stuck, and he's deaf. So now, after this Raise just comes up behind him, yeah, I mean, it's GG's at that point. So now, we find ourselves at an 8-4 half. Definitely favorable for us to begin with.
We win.
All right, so now starting on the attacking side, a little bit of a more favorable side for UAA. As we have had more success in the past, looks like we're just trying to listen and see if Tarleton wants to push up. But it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do so. Mystic is drawing in a ton of members here, trying to just spot anything he can. I don't know if he actually saw that Yoru teleport or not, but he's going to rotate out. And the members from UAA are alongside this. They do have a very strong mismatch here on terms of sight, but they're going to have to move fast because Tarleton is responding to this. Fade Eye will go through to clear most part of tree. They're going to go out and try to get this spike down. Nade's going to come through, and that's going to damage Yoru a ton, but Rack's able to get the first pick quickly traded. Another pick comes through from Mystic, but the trades are going through 1-for-1s all across the board, and that's going to be leaving us in a mismatch of numbers now. Mystic's going to have to try to go for this pick. He goes for a ballsy swing, not able to find it. Now Phoenix, last one remaining, not able to find the shots, and we're going to be, unfortunately, losing this pistol round. Now for UA, down quite a bit of eco here. Unfortunately, one of them makes a fatal step, and now they're going to step right into the hands of this raise with a judge, and they have to turn around now. This was a little bit of a problem that UA had in the previous matches. It's just like, when it comes to holding shift, they just haven't been able to do so very effectively, and it causes them to make those loud steps. Luckily for us, though, we were able to get a pick before leaving. And now it looks like we find ourselves really leaning towards this A side. And we might even just be able to get the spike down. We spot 2 towards heaven. Boats is able to get the pick after he got the kit, or he picked up a bulldog from the fade, I believe. The raise is going to satchel onto sight. Unfortunately dies, and now it's all up to Phoenix, who unfortunately dies as well. But that was at least 3 picks on the eco side, so we at least look really good for the most part in terms of breaking the economy of Tarleton State. But for UA in general, still going to be a little precarious trying to find our first round here with the bye.
There.
Rack, unfortunately, not going to win the first duel towards Mazzy. A little bit of an aggressive swing there. Not really much util to follow up with it either. No flashes, no smokes, no really anything. Mystic at least tries to swing with the flash, but fortunately only flashes himself. So, not really going to do much there.
Portal closed.
All right, UA really has to work on making these steps. They really need to learn to hold shift, because it is not helping them whatsoever. Nade's going to go through. It's going to force King Wizard back quite a bit. Doors open as well. That's going to be the flash. Hopefully we check our corners. We are able to. Run and gun from Mystic's able to find the first pick. Flash comes through after he steals the life of the clone. That's going to be the dog that comes out to learn the fade, knowing that he's close by. Mystic is just dodging, bombing, and weaving it against so much utility here. He's having to destroy all of it as a Swiss Army knife. One-man army against util. But it looks like they're going to elect to go back here, knowing that Omen's dead. Tarleton State have no way to defend anything through this B main side of things. It's all up to Boats, though, to win this duel. Each member respectively in a 1v1. He makes the swing, though, and all up to Phoenix, and he's not able to find the shots. UA lose a 3v2. And that's going to give Tarleton the momentum needed. I would definitely love to see a timeout here from UA to try to figure out exactly what they want to do on half. And hopefully learn to press the shift button, because holy, we're making steps. If you guys are unaware with Valorant or a little bit new to the game, there's a normal default walking mode, as we can see Fade doing right now, just normally walking around. But when you hold shift, your character goes literally dead silent. But if you unshift, if you let go of shift at any point, your character can go from silent to making one loud stomp that alerts every member of Tarleton exactly where you are. That's going to be Utah that goes down. FA25 goes out with alongside the raise nade, so it alerts UAA now that they're going through, and Mystic just loves flashing team members because holy, nobody's able to swing with him. 3 picks that go in favor of Tarleton now. Highly unfortunate. And now, I mean, you can quite literally just count out this round. What once was an 8-4 half, we find ourselves 8-8, most likely, ladies and gents, unless Rack and Phoenix are able to pull off the impossible. Yikes.
Wall tripped. Blinding press. Flashing. Good hit.
Yeah, slightly unfortunate round there. And Mystic definitely has to coordinate these flashes a little bit. The range from the Yoru flash has been changed since I'm pretty sure the last time he's played Yoru, which hasn't, I don't know if it's been a while ago, but yeah, the flash range is definitely a lot shorter now, so it makes things a lot harder to kind of do any sort of pop flash plays. But let's see exactly how UA is able to respond off of this round. Mystic is going to have the shorty. He does have ultimate, so we're probably looking for an ult play leading into this round. Ult will be popped. He sees the raise exactly where he is. He's pinging on to shoot his body. But it's going to be the Fade that actually finds the pick, unfortunately. And now he's going to see this chamber as well. On the front end, though, Wizards able to at least try to stop the bleeding for the most part and get a pick onto the enemy raise, but now it's going to be him that falls next, and it's really up to Rack in a 1v4, and with no information about whether any enemy is on site, this is looking highly doubtful, because UA might just lose the lead now. Effectively some 1v1s that Rack could duel out to try to even the numbers before the reinforcements arrive. He's able to at least deal with some of the Yoru util. He does pop the flash, though, of the decoy. Has some things to work with, but just in a 1v3, it looks extremely doubtful and unlikely for him to win, unfortunately. And Tarleton takes the lead, 8-9. I really hope UAA calls a timeout now, because, I mean, they really need to breathe. Yeah, there comes the timeout. Just to talk about, I mean, they have 3 ultimates to use. I don't know. Okay, so they are able to buy this round. It's going to be a little bit of a shaky buy in terms of utility, because I don't really know if they'll have enough, and they might have to go light shield or regen shield, but really just take a breath. Slow things down. And when you are slowing things down, to do it correctly. They haven't had a good C exec yet. They haven't even been able to do that well of an A exec on purpose, given the fact that Tarleton have been doing a really good job at taking A main. And this chamber with the op, they have to remember that the op is here. So if they go towards C for a C exec, they have to flash first, or at least pop a Yoru clone. So hopefully they kept these things in mind. Hopefully they know that the Fade ult is online, so if they go for an exec, they want to play off-site for the post-plant. Let's see what they do. That's at least what I would come if I was in the timeout there. I mean, things are looking a little bit grim. He just lost 5 rounds in a row, so definitely looks a little bit shaky. Just to see how things would go down, but it looks like they're leaning more towards a C and B type hit here. Mystic will be the one to kind of duel on this C side, and I mean, he's up against an op, and despite having just immortal level aim, One click from the op spells your doom. I think this Fade actually sees who is sitting here. And yeah, I mean, I see the lurking play. I see exactly what the vision was, but it's not looking very good so far. I mean, if we look at the round count, won the first 2, lost the next 3, and then we just had 6 rounds straight. And Tarleton respond with 7 rounds straight of their own. But things are not over yet. It looks like Tarleton kind of read a B and C hit, so things could definitely look good for us. Your flash goes out to at least push off the mains, and now if we get a quick enough attack here, we might find ourselves free onto the A site. Smokes go out, Fade Dog goes through, and I mean, this is clear taking for the site. Beautiful stuff from UAA to at least get a good read here. A little bit of a blind counter towards the setup of Tarleton. Nightmare is going to be utilized alongside the Vice ult to slow things down on Tarleton, but this is just so many members from Tarleton that are sitting in this tree area, or UAA rather, they're sitting in this tree area. They're able to get the pick onto the Omen, but now all that's left is the Rays of Rack, and the bomb is planted for him at least. Has to look away the flash, not able to flick away in time. Flash comes through again, and they're just going to stick the defuse. Rack might as well just save this, try to go for some kills. And despite a really nice looking beginning round for UAA, they once again are not able to complete it and just hold the plant where they need to. Once again though, this is Tarleton's map pick, so if anything, if things go downhill, then they'll at least have UAA's map pick next, which was Bind. So as long as they keep the morale and the momentum upwards and stay positive, they should probably be able to find themselves. Mystic, unfortunately, not being able to find another kill. Gets double swung there. Just once again, finding these first bloods has been incredibly difficult for us.
Spike down, C.
As Sync gets another nice shot, and I mean, with how our economy is probably going to be looking next round, we might be chalking things up and going straight to Bind. Still in a 3v5, extremely winnable, especially with 2 ults online, but they're walking straight into the eyes of an Omen. Or just no util that they're following up on. I mean, it's just almost like we're scared to use utility. We have so much in our pocket, and we're just not, like, using it to clear.
30 seconds left.
Chamber's literally gonna pop ultimate. It's not even match point. I mean, we have so much util. I don't know why. Like, look at that. They're, like, I know it's just one player, but they're at least, like, throwing every bit of util they have into one life. But we're just not using our util. We're dry peeking early. It's just not really working out for us. We can't even get an effective first blood. But now it's sitting at 8 and 12. I mean, this is gonna take a lot of grit, a lot of focus, a lot of perseverance now. I mean, you just lost 8 rounds in a row. You kind of just have to wipe that off. Or 9 rounds, rather.
There.
Nice utilization of the Fade Iron and fighting through that Omen smoke. Mystic once again. It's just going to be the first blood. It's highly unfortunate. Bites the bullet off the op there. And now this is going to be a bloodbath sitting on mound.
Down, C.
Boat's able to get out of the picture. And they know that they're there. They're going to have to try to smoke it off if they want any sort of rotate. But the Aura Flash comes through. And the teamwork from Tarleton is just unmatched. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to find ourselves on bind going into the next round. And we'll just see then. Got to clean up a lot of stuff. and gentlemen, welcome back to the map of Bind. I believe these are where the teams are supposed to be. Here we go. We're going to be on Bind. No, I got the teams wrong. All right, well, let me swap this over real quick. Let's get the game on some VALORANT. So we're going to be seeing on the map Bind. Unfortunately, for some reason, it is not loading in on OBS. There we go. All right, so we got the teams down. So Tarleton will be on the defense side, starting things off, as this is the UAA map pick. Going with a Brim, Raze, Yoru, Sky, and Deadlock locking in. Alongside UAA with the, looks like probably a double con look. With Mystic on the Raze, Wizard on the Gecko, and Phoenix on the Cypher. So things definitely looking up. As we are unfortunately down 1-0 in the series. As if you're just now joining in, Tarleton State did take the first map of Lotus. It was their map pick, so things all could change in the blink of an eye. So let's make sure to stay tuned and stick close. I will leave us in the spectating realm, but I will be right back to deal with a quick matter and let you guys watch and see how the pistol round goes. Be right back.
There.
All right, appreciate you guys for sticking and waiting. It looks like UA did find the first blood onto the Yoru. As Rack, or Mystic rather, is taking a ton of damage. Despite getting a little bit of a first pick there, it looks like he is still super hurt, especially Rack now as well. As UAA are finding these picks, but still are extremely hurt to find them. So despite numbers advantage, health advantage, still not really in favor. Looks like Boats, or Phoenix rather, knows that somebody's in lamps, but is unfortunately going to lose the duel. Deals a tiny bit of damage towards the Brim, but not enough to make them one shot like two of our remaining members. So things are a little bit shaky. As it looks like the stick will come through. Spray comes from Wizard, though. He's able to find that first pick. And it looks like UA is on the board, finding the first round of attack for their T side of things. So beautiful start so far. As they're going to continue to hopefully roll through and find a lot of attacking rounds so far. Raze bot from Mystic's going to clear out Showers. Knows that he's free to grab the orb here. A little bit of an interesting Viper wall. You're not really used to seeing the one towards Showers. Especially in a close round, especially in a close eco round like this. You're not really used to it. Usually you always see that default one that goes towards a short, but it looks like they're trying to exact from Shower here. So things could get a little bit different. Spray's going to come through from Phoenix. He's able to find the first pick. Gets a lot of damage onto 2, but Boats is going to find that one. Still a double kill nonetheless. Picks E are still coming through from Phoenix on towards the A short side of things. And now that the wire has been alerted, they know the last one's on flank, and they can kind of write this round straight into UAA's hands. And like I said there, I mean, the wall nonetheless is still not terrible. If we really go toward look at it, I know the camera view is extremely slow. But the wall, I mean, doesn't really even do a great job at execing for shower. You kind of want it towards this side, if anything. Because when wall is up, I mean, there's just way too many corners to sit in if you are the defender side. Shots come through, and Rack's able to get the kill, bringing us to a flawless round for our Seawolves. Let's make some noise in chat. Beautiful stuff so far, winning that pistol round and the bonus, or pistol round and the buy-up. So now we go into the bonus round, looking to at least break the eco and hopefully capitalizing on a round. Here's the default wall that you're usually used to. So we are most likely going to see this one for the rest of the game, especially given the fact that we kind of played our cards there for a second, letting them know that, you know, if we ever do that Viper wall, then it's pretty much an A shower exec. Skyburn, they're doing a really good job at trying to hold this A long or B long here, but UAA is doing an even better job at trying to take it. Kind of up against the Sky, but the Sky's going to be forced to back off, which allows Rack here to get some early info. Yours going to leave his TP there. Smokes are going to go down from the brim of lamps, but I mean, he kind of knows that nothing is going to go be on this. Wall goes up. It's going to block the vision from heaven. Forces Yoru to TP back. So things are still definitely a little bit slow. But, I mean, Yoru, or the attack from UAA looks like it's leaning towards this B side. And now as they peek themselves out, that's going to be the Vandals. They know that they're all online.
30 seconds left.
Going to have to see some util being thrown here as the rest of remaining members of Tarleton know the jig is up. And the time is now to attack. They see the Euroclone. Everyone on UAA shoots at it. Gonna be pulling out the util there from the Cypher cam. Gonna clean up the kill. It's gonna be Rack. So at least he's trying to find some picks possible. But now it's all up to Phoenix. But he's not able to find anything of his own. You know, all series, UAA has loved shooting these Euroclones. I mean, it has been like... Sync didn't really have the greatest game last time, at least in the beginning portion half, but I mean, the amount of utility that he's been able to gain from just us shooting Euroclones is honestly hilarious. Alright, Viper Wall is looking to go up. It finally does. After early aggression towards this A side. Looks like things are still looking very quiet. I mean, this is really just how bind is. There's just too much util to take. You really have to... Both sides are fairly even for the most part. So you really have to do a good job at trying to bait out much defenders. And really the only advantages you get are numbers advantages, and they know now that they have advantages now with a beautiful shot from King Wizard to allow Mystic to get onto site. He's gonna have to be in a long fight, however, with B elbow. He's still able to take it, so now Wingman's gonna start the plant. And then a low health 2v3, UA still slightly has this advantage here in this post plant. Not much utility left from either side. Either player, rather, from UAA. Rack might have lineups here, unless he's just looking for the flank. Sees the arm of the Rays, and he's able to get the pick. Beautiful stuff from Mystic as he sees the next one in line. That's the 4th. Call it 4 on the round for him. Artistic KO. Good stuff from Mystic there to bring us up to 3-1. And this is a really good sign. UAA didn't really have the best time when it came to attacking on Lotus, but now really shifting the tides now and turning the tables on Bind. Things could definitely look up here. Early take onto the A side. Quick exec. So quick execution is going to allow us to kind of push towards this site. Wingman will try to go for the plant, but the nade is going to end his life. Sad days for any Wingman fans, but it allows Phoenix to pop the ult. Quick pick from Rack. Quickly traded from Sync. Now that flash, as that goes out, swing comes through, and he's able to get 2. So that's the enemy Yoru evening things out 3-3. Deadlock ult will come through, and it's going to catch... It's going to catch King Wizard, forcing him off a little bit. And although the 2 players line up for Boats, he's not able to clean up the Yoru. Now in a 1v2, we've seen Boats clutch this up before. Molly's going to come through. It's not going to burn the Yoru just yet, but Sync still lands the shots. And despite being down economy, Sync just comes through. Super close try from UAA there, but just a little bit of desync when it comes to our positionings in that post plant. A lot of players wanted to swing towards showers. Some of them were playing a little bit back. When it comes to those post plant situations, you really have to be all on one singular brain cell, just sharing the same mind. Early fight from showers comes through here. Boats has to know that there's 2 here, or he can't really know that there's 2 there, but unfortunately gets baited out with the orb pickup there. That's going to be our brim down, unfortunately. It is a save round, so deaths aren't too terrible. We are able to light up the sky quite a bit, but the Raze does have the op, so things could look a little grim here as the swing comes through. Mystic's going to fall. And that sound of the op shot rings through.
Cage triggered. Cage triggered.
Forcing UAA back off a little bit. Gecko's actually just going to run straight into Lamps there. Meets the brim head on. Rack catches a random wallbang headshot, and in a 2v5 here, it looks like Rack might just have to force save this gun going into the next half. I mean, there's really no reason to really fight this.
Last player standing.
And he's just going to run back into spawn. Tying things up 3-3. Tarleton. Things have looked a little bit grim for UA for the past 2 rounds, but surely being able to buy up on their weaponry, things might be looking up for them now. Skybird comes out, so now the any sort of information towards that B-long side will be alerted to. Mystic's able to get a pick with the boom bot. Beautiful stuff from Mystic finding that first blood. Nice pre-fire, gets a couple of tags onto the Yoru, so they at least know now that he is sitting backside. Nade also comes through as the Sky forces out that pick, but it's still Mystic on with a 3. Gets the 4th as well, on time for an ace. Last remaining member of Tarleton is sitting back in CT now. And finding this ace could really turn the morale around for UAA after losing 2 rounds in a row. Things could get extremely hyper in that esports lounge. But it doesn't look like Mystic's going to be looking for it, as that brim is all the way on the side of Showers. So any sort of TP here would be a crazy read. But, I mean, that's kind of like their only way of escaping right now. Unless they walk through B long. Ah, I thought he was going to go through TP. That would have been so close to finding that 5th kill. Still, nonetheless, a 4K from Mystic. Beautiful shots. And a really great entry to open up the site for the rest of his team to take. Really important to note that we did utilize the Viper ult this time around, so any sort of post plant will be that much harder. I would love to see they do have Gecko ult, so if they're able to realize this, maybe they take a quick A side. They know this brim is literally camping inside of lamps. If they're able to Gecko ult this guy, it's pretty much a free round. All you do is pop the Viper wall. Okay, I don't know why Rack waits so long. But if you just pop the Viper wall right now, follow it up with the Gecko ult there, especially with Boats finding that first blood. I mean, this brim is like dead. He's literally just dead. Mystic finding another pick on B long. Okay, at this point you might as well just save the ult. Rotating to B, beautiful call. Most likely from Mystic here, given the fact that he just got the pick, so things could look up, and it looks like that Sky was actually holding on to a Odin, which is really gross. Swing is going to come through from the B long. Rack might die from it, but he is going to get caught up in that smoke. At least he's able to get a spike down. Mystic gets the shots through the smoke, and he's able to clean up that pick. TP from the back end. It's going to force some of the members of UAA off a little bit. Phoenix sitting in this corner, lying and waiting. I don't even know if he knows that. I don't think anyone calmed to him that, hey, somebody TP'd. He just wasn't aware of this happening. Brim smokes. We do have orbital strike, so that was baited out. Mystic's able to clean up the pick on that one. Not able to find the 4th, and all of a sudden, Brim in a 1v1 with King Wizard. He gets the tap, has to know it's fake, heard the step. Goes for the swing now and is able to get that one-shot kill. Huge stuff from King Wizard in a 1v1 clutch. Almost a 1v3 from Tarleton, but still nonetheless, really strong look for UAA so far. Find themselves getting back-to-back rounds, and this should send Tarleton into an eco.
Going up.
Rack, after previous rounds, they will be pushing up here, but Rack still picks up 2. Mazzy in sync, just not in sync there. They're going to fall very early on. That's already a 5v3 advantage. Phoenix has to know this and just back away. Do not give up the opening picks. And after those first 2 picks, I mean, it just alerted Tarleton to just insta-rotate. But it looks like UA does a really good job at taking B main, slowing things down, and they're just going to take B with free ease.
They found my wire.
Sky really looking to try to get through this TP here. Is going to follow up with a flash eye bird, but Boats has that locked down. Beautiful shots from him and Mystic to get another flawless round. 6-3. so far from the side of UAA. Beautiful stuff on this attack side. And once again, that's going to pull out Tarleton's timeout. So now things are looking extremely well. Let's turn this into windowed full screen. All right. Let's take a look at the scoreboard here. I mean, in terms of a timeout, Tarleton's probably telling their team that, hey, we have every single ultimate. Let's make a play, you know? It's extremely easy to kind of make these sorts of plays when you're on the attacker side of things. So definitely expect Dark Knight, who has been having an extremely slow game this time around. I mean, he was top frag on Lotus, but now sitting at 2-7, just not able to find his footing on Bind, which is usually a map that's really favorable towards Rays, but just this half not being really in his favor. UA has to realize they have all 5 ults, and they're definitely going to probably look to make a play. So have to be careful. I would definitely elect to probably play a little bit slower, especially since they have that UAA, or they have that Euro ult. This is one thing I'm probably going to tell Rack later on, is if you are a Viper, and this goes to anyone in chat, you always want to shoot your Viper wall the beginning of the prep phase, like at the beginning when before the wall goes up. Reason being is because if you shoot it late, then that gives them free info that you're already sitting at A short. But if you shoot it early, then they have to guess. And and in any case, you never want to give the enemy team free info. Early shots onto B long there as the Sky is not really doing a good job at really battling this. Boats is going to take a lot of damage as well with his duel towards the Yoru. TB is going to come through from UAA, and it looks like they have their eyes set on this A site. Wall's going to go up soon. Showstopper comes out, and it's not going to be able to be picked up by Phoenix as he unfortunately falls. Wingman as well wasn't able to get the plant down, so now the spike is out in the middle of the site. Things are going to be a little bit dire straits. 30 seconds now. Still a lot of time to work with if you're UAA, but they have to find the right mode of transport. They have multiple mollies. It's going to be the deadlock ult that comes out. It is going to unfortunately catch the King Wizard now, so he's going to fall. Showstopper for Mystic comes out. They're going to be able to try to pull the round out of a very precarious situation, but unfortunately they're not going to be able to, so now Boats is going to be forced back. And now it looks like Tarleton will finally stop the bleeding for a little bit after the timeout round. Who knows what the coach told them there? Maybe play a little bit more aggro towards Hookah. Maybe give them B long. That's what we were seeing in the previous rounds, but let's see exactly what changes for UAA, as we still have a lot of economy going into this round. Tarleton is still pretty hurt, especially if you're looking at that Brim. Doesn't really have too much economy to go with. They utilized 2 ultimates that round, being the Showstopper and the Deadlock ultimate, so
Oh yeah, monster on the loose.
it's gonna be the Gecko ult. Let's see if anyone follows up on it. No one's able to follow up, but but Dark Knight actually just willingly gives up his life for the cause, apparently. So it's gonna be the raise down UAA with that first blood, but they are extremely hurt. Your clone comes through, and after trying to shoot it, unfortunately, King Wizard will fall, dropping the spike down. So now things are looking a little bit scary, but Mystic is still able to bring the numbers back in their advantage. From a 4v4 to a 4v3, Skydog comes through, but Sync is still just teetering between life and death, holding his team together as much as he can. It's going to be the flash. He's done this flash multiple times. It's going to have to be Rack, but not able to do so. Sync, when it comes to defending this A site, I would have loved to TP there, but UA elects to fight there. So it makes things a little bit tougher, but Still finding 6 rounds on the attacking side of Bind is really impressive. If we end this half 7-5, it'd make it even that much better. Going into the defensive side, obviously, it's going to be Tarleton that wanted to start on defense first, so... It's not going to look good for them. This Raze actually lurked up very far. He's going to catch a lot of damage. Almost gets the pick onto Mystic, but he's able to win the duel. So that's the first blood. Next one in line will be this Yoru. He goes for the pop flash swing, and he's unfortunately going to get the pick onto Phoenix, and he gets out of dodge just in time. Brim on the side of Tarleton is looking and holding this orbital strike. They have to know that he has it in hand. It's going to Sky Ultimate that comes through. Mystic will get hit, but Boats was still able to get a pick in the time being. Orbital Strike's probably going to come through now as he opens up the sky, but it's going to be towards the lamp, so it doesn't stop the plant. As they were trying to team it up with the Yoru ult, they're still able to get the Yoru as he's coming out of the ult, being able to dodge the flash. King Wizard, beautiful stuff there. But now in a 2v4 with barely any health remaining, UAA has to hold the line here. Rack, with the only one with any health, is still able to make the swing, wins the duel against Nalabs, and Mazzy, last one left, sitting backside triple. Going to look to make the swing towards Mystic, but Rack doesn't make the swing for the trade. Plays it well, plays the bullet, and he's able to find the final blow. Gets the kill on the Mazzy, and we end the half 7-5, ladies and gents.
Switching sides. So, do we mix it up?
So now let's look at the defense side towards UA and exactly how they want to set up. Exactly what split they're going to be looking for towards this side. Looks like we're going to be leaning more towards an A side defense as we're kind of leaving our Cypher and Brim to kind of fend for themselves towards this A side. A little bit questionable for the Brim to be here, given the fact that your smokes are extremely far away. His Brim's scouter does not reach that far. So things will be a little bit open now for Tarleton to kind of take sight freely. This is going to go through to try to blind, but he doesn't actually blind this Raze towards the lamps. Spike was almost going down, but they're going to hold it for now. Is it now finally going down? Still waiting. It's going to be King Wizard trying to look for any sort of pick possible. Gets the headshot, but not able to find the pick. It's up to Mystic now. And Rack going to be going up into lamps. Knows that the Raze is there, but is going to elect to not fight this out. Still UAA trying their best to try to find any sort of opening. It's going to be Boats to find the first pick to try to claw this one back. Mystic and Phoenix still trying to find any sort of pinch possible. Mystic finds a shot, trying to look for the sky, but it's still UAA cleaning up house. Beautiful shots on the pistol round, and we secure ourselves an 8-5 scoreline.
We're here because we're the best. Don't any of you forget that.
Beautiful stuff in the pistol. As we won the pistol in the previous round, this is already looking better than the Lotus half. As after we swapped half, we actually didn't win a single round after that, despite having an 8-4 half. But now this time around, we find ourselves in a really good looking spot to hopefully snowball and keep ourselves going.
Here.
Let's look how things go. We have one-way set up for this B site. The Cypher looks like Rack also rotated around to try to help around with the backsides. But with a deadlock, you don't really have that strong of a reliance on flank watch, so you can already see the deadlock in the Brim kind of turning around, trying to look for any sort of lurks possibly happening. But the remaining members of Tarleton are leaning towards this side of the map. Rack looking for any sort of shot possible. Hopefully Mystic and King Wizard are kind of holding this down, waiting for any sort of peak to happen. Jump peaks are coming through. Shoulders are as well. It's going to be the deadlock pin that goes down. He's going to have to remove the net as fast as possible with the Bucky in hand. He gets the first shot onto Nalapse, looking for any sort of more. The Viper Wall will go up, so it at least stalls them for the time being. And at least pushes them across, so now you're lying, waiting. It's going to be King Wizard sitting in that corner. Gets a nice double kill.
One enemy remaining.
And lying, waiting on the other side of things with the one way of the Cypher cage will be Phoenix. And that's going to be a flawless round. Good stuff so far from the Seawolves. Finding themselves up 9-5. We might see a map 3, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, this should do. This goes here. Oh, this is a nice spot. That goes there. This goes here.
Now sitting at that flawless round, UAA still has all the weaponry to deal and do as much damage as possible. Mystic spotting the deadlock, looking for any sort of swing, gets a right click shot, but unfortunately this isn't the Bucky of the old days where you used to be able to right click and just snipe somebody off their chair.
Cage triggered.
Gonna be the one way that goes up. Phoenix unable to get the pick needed onto that Yoru. So that's gonna be all the Cypher util down, all the wires down as well. Boats does have a Bulldog though. We have seen in previous rounds him absolutely pop off with this gun. He's going to see the deadlock, do a bit of tad bit of damage there. Rack's able to claim the pick before dying, but it's still up to Boats in this corner here. He sees the deadlock, not able to clean up the kill. And now with the satchel out, still goes for a little bit of a swing with the little raised dash tech. But now as we're just dancing in this wall here, unfortunately Mystic will fall down. And despite getting one pick, looks like UA unfortunately will fall with this round, barring a crazy Spectre 1v4. Doesn't look like we're going to be seeing that today, though. So now 6-9 scoreline. Pretty simple stuff. I mean, you know, one team wins pistol, wins their bye, loses the bonus. So still nothing crazy or out of the ordinary yet. Very standard stuff that we're used to seeing in a Valorant game. So sitting at the 6-9 scoreline, this round is usually what makes the difference. So let's see exactly how it's going to be played. I saw Rack practicing that lineup before the game started, and luckily he was able to hit it. So this spot could definitely be a very precarious one. Looks like UAA have elected to really just buy these judges and sit in these corners waiting for any member. And Rack, if you look at the mini-map, multiple members are pushing into this judge position. Things could look very scary. But that Boombot, oh my god, it doesn't spot him. It doesn't spot him. They have no clue he's sitting in this corner. Oh my god. This could be generational. He pops the orb though, and I don't know if this is going to force them to go back. This might scare them just a little too much. The one way was just too good. It actually scared Tarleton away, and he's going to be forced to sway. He gets a little too antsy. He had it in his sights. Phoenix, however, is still able to clean up the first kill to get that trade there. And it looks like Mystic is
30
rotating
seconds
just
left.
a little too early. Oh, he turns around actually just in time. Perfect. He hits the read from the team. So now, after the vision from Wizard, it's going to be Dizzy that goes out. A lot of damage from Mystic, but with the judge from range, not really able to do so. He sees the satchel pack angle, gets the spike planter. That's down. That's a beautiful pick still. But now it's still a 2v2. Spike will go down. It is time. Unfortunately, Phoenix just wasn't able to rotate in time. So now he is a little bit out of the picture. Both members still having a Phantom in hand, so things could look good. Trying to give Phoenix time to get onto this heaven angle. Boats unfortunately loses it out, and Rhino feeling himself. We're feeling themselves. They're just going to make that swing, and brings us to 9-7 scoreline. Rack almost had it, saw the vision, just got a little too antsy there. Extremely close though.
This is my spot. Yes, this should do.
Ooh, one ways. Let's take a look at the one-way lineups, ladies and gents.
That goes there.
Oh, looks like he gave up. I think he knew that we were watching. All right, well, okay, I'll get off of his point of view. I love caster cursing. I love caster cursing people. It's so funny. It's probably like the highlight of my day. It's the real reason why I do this job. Looks like Skyall will come out. They alert that the Cypher is in this tunnels area. It's going to be the cage that pops out as well, but unable to find any of the picks. It's going to be Mystic trying to look for any sort of angle possible to try to get in this fight, but little does he know, nobody's really actually challenging him in hookah here. So this is really free for the taking. As he knows now that he has hookah all to himself, it's going to be up to Boats here to do any sort of play that he can. He has one smoke to kind of play around with. Rack finds a beautiful pick. If he's able to pop this smoke, things could look really good for him. It's going to be the Yor that TP's out. How this is a huge kill, but Wizard doesn't find it. Still deals enough damage to try to get any sort of play. It's going to be Boats. Finds the shot with the Bucky. And now the defuse will try to come through. Shot comes through, but it's not able to find it. Yor gets the TP. But now it's all up to Rack. But with no time left, he's going to be forced to back away. Still keeps the Vandal. And Tarleton are now bridging the gap. 9-8 scoreline now. Things are just extremely close now. For both sides. But it's going to be a buy round now. A little bit of a force from the side of UAA. Make sure that they have enough economy for this round. But doesn't look like they will be doing anything for the next round. A little bit of a cheeky angle from Mystic. Trying to find anything towards this A short side. Skydog will come out. Orbital Strike comes through as well, but he's able to find the first pick. Beautiful shots on the backside triple. However, shooting that, Yoro clone will alert the members for Rack. Nade comes through to try to do any sort of damage. It's going to be the showstopper online. He hears that the person's planning, but not able to find the kill, though. Mystic just gets shot through the smoke. Highly unfortunate shot there.
I've got your trail.
And it looks like after the Skyall, they realize that all the members of UAA are on this A site, and they're going to force themselves on to B. Phoenix at least gets one pick before dying. But this Skyall is live and chasing. King Wizard was at least able to get a shot there with Dizzy. But he has to enter this site without perishing. He does have Wingman to utilize, but Boats is going to get that first pill. He gets the next. They have to realize, though, that Yoru is behind them. Early shots allow them to realize that. It's going to be the Wingman that goes for the defuse. Yoru, still last remaining, has to get the pick. Boats, beautiful shot! And we find ourselves at 8-10. Extremely close rounds from both teams. Ultimates being utilized, but because we were the victors of that one, it forces Tarleton to have a very low buy. They're going to have to force this round. And after using that orbital strike, I mean, Wizard is perfectly fine and capable of sitting here in this A short side. Skydog will come through to clear out that angle alongside the Yorba TP. He's going to be forced to back off, and I mean, he just bites the bullet there. And that alerts the rest of UAA to really rotate fast. Mystics can at least get the first pick. And as the spike gets planted, Rack's going to go through, clear out this shower area. They know that it's clear. That'll also alert Tarleton to know that they're there as well. Orbital strike is going to go straight into Lamps. Beautiful ult from Boats to clear out 2 members. Sky Swing will come through, but Rack still wins that duel. Last remaining member will be utilized by the Neural Theft, and they know that he is sitting in a short. Nade comes through from Deadlock, but not able to stop much. Defuse will still come through from Boats as the final laugh goes to Rack. 8-11 scoreline. Lead goes to UAA.
Yes, this should do. That goes there. Ah, this is a nice spot.
We now could very well find ourselves up, sitting close to match point. Looks like a stack from UAA goes towards this A side. A little bit questionable. Maybe a little bit of a attempt to blind counter, but it looks like Rack's going to be the one to utilize his ultimate on towards this B site. This doesn't really scare the members of Tarleton. A bunch of wall bangs are trying to come through, a bunch of sprays, but you can kind of see, I mean, after that TP, Tarleton definitely has their eyes set on towards this A site. So many members lurking up towards showers. You have the Yoru and the Brim sitting right in this doorway. It's going to be all up to Boats. He's going to have the first swing. First contact, sees one, lines them up, and gets them both. Shots from Boats coming through very clean. King Wizard on the other end, but it's going to be him stuck in the middle of this deadlock wall. Things could definitely be a little bit precarious as Mystic nades his own teammate. King Wizard has to swing this. He's just stuck. Gonna force Mystic to swing. Gets the pick. Beautiful swing with the satchel there. Last one remaining is gonna be the Sky. And ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves... Gotta wait for the announcer. We find ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, at match point. That's going to be a timeout going through from Tarleton. It's going to be their second timeout utilized of this game. Timeout goes down, and I mean, if you are Tarleton, I mean, you really have not much to play with in terms of ultimates. You can't really farm orbs here unless you're able to farm a Sky ult, maybe. If you go take B long and then just ride right straight back to showers, that might be the play. But other than that, I mean, really don't have much to do. Dark Knight just really had a very slow game this time around. I mean, they were firing on all cylinders last game on Lotus, but this time around, I mean, just not really finding any sort of picks, which really hurt the team. As you can tell, Tarleton kind of looked lost on their attacks and a couple of their defenses as well. So things aren't looking the best for them. And now sitting at match points for UAA, and I mean, Tarleton has like 2 players with no shields, and one of them has a Guardian. Things are definitely not looking up for them. Cypher cam a little bit too low to see the B long side of things, but also allows it not to be shot from B long. TP goes from backside, able to pick off one. A little bit of a very risky play from Tarleton to try to open up the gateways, but he's not able to find the Cypher. That's gonna be the wire utilized, and the Raze is just eating that Cypher wire. Is gonna have to try to find the top of the site, but no reinforcements from UAA are anywhere to be found. No one is helping this Cypher as he's fighting for his life on site. It's gonna be King Wizard with the Thrash that goes out. Not able to find it. Wonder if he goes for the wallbang towards his right to try to clean up that brim, but don't believe he knows that the wallbang is there. So it's gonna be a little bit of a hard day here as he forces things to go towards site. Trying to look for any sort of 3-2-1 timing here. It's gonna be the Dizzy that comes out. Swings will follow through along with it, but that stun from the Deadlock is gonna shut things down, and UAA fall, unfortunately, for this round. I would have loved to see some help from Phoenix there. Somebody help this Cypher sitting on site alone. I mean, I get that CT was getting just absolutely thwarted with utility, but that Raze was sitting in a wire for about 10 minutes.
This one here. Yes, this should do. Oh, this is a nice spot.
Rack with a beautiful pick. It's going to be Dark Knight, just once again not finding their footing this game.
My territory, my rules.
That Deadlock ult not able to find anything either, so now this looks like a very beautiful spot from the side of UA, up a body, utilizing an ult that just ultimately wasn't able to get a kill. Now it's really going to be all up to Phoenix. I would love to see in the future if, you know, he changes kind of this. I like this. I like the trap setups. He has a multitude of trap setups, but just he's been sitting in the same spot over and over again. So it could really be scary for a Cypher as that you're kind of open side up all alone. That you know that somebody's sitting on towards this B long side.
Spike planted.
And after destroying this wall, would love to see some wall bangs out of the right side. It hurts. It hurts not seeing any wall bangs. There's so many players. From the spectator view, you could just see the outlines, but unfortunately, that's really all that we can do is just watch and wait. Unfortunately, Mystic's going to catch a bullet. Sitting with the op on elbow. It's going to be Rack looking for any sort of more assistance, but I mean, the best thing you can do if you are UAA here is just try to pull out that orbital strike, but now that they weren't, I mean, Tarleton is looking very strong going into this 10th round, or 10th score for them, 23rd round rather, for the round count overall. Now that they have that orbital strike, they're slowly building up these ultimates, but I mean, that's really all he has. UAA is going to have to be forced to save here for the time being, given their extremely low economy. Looks like a little bit of a risky play from Mystic as he was trying to find anybody towards A short. It does alert the remaining members of Tarleton that they are pushing from the flanking side. Shots are trying to come through. Orbital strike will come onto this B side, forces King Wizard back. And now, but still, we have a flank from Rack. Beautiful timing. Is he able to find it? Phoenix finds 2, so really good shots. Rack has to find any sort of pick here. He's able to do some damage, though. And now, Rack, or Mystic rather, going for this flank. And King Wizard at barely any health. He could really deal the final blow. Finds 2, and now it's a 1v1. Both players are sitting at 1 health. And to keep Tarleton alive, Dark Knight has been having a rough game. But Wizard, the rookie, not able to win it. Super unfortunate 1v1. But Dark Knight wakes up when he's needed. It was a save round, though, so don't forget. But we did utilize a lot of ultimates there. Or at least the showstopper. So now, really the only thing we can get this round would be the Neural Theft or the Orbital Strike.
Spike's there.
Tarleton looking to keep themselves alive and go into overtime for this map too. And UAA looking to at least keep themselves alive in the series overall and take this map to bring us to map 3 of Sunset. See, this is a nice camera, good vision on towards that B player side. So now you know that 3 are sitting long. Would love to see Mystic try to take showers here to get that early info. But I mean, this exact, yeah, it looks like they're just going to be executing onto this site. Things look a little scary. Oh my God, Phoenix, swing it, brother. You know you want to, but the Aura's already looking at it. Yeah, this is looking really unfortunate. King Wizard, unfortunately, will fall. This flash comes through, and yeah, Phoenix is going to bite the bullet there on towards B elbow. And ladies and gentlemen, we might be seeing overtime in this map. And unfortunately, Rack's going to fall. Things are looking a little bit precarious now. Mystic's going to take elbow side, finds 1 pick with the Judge, able to deal a little bit of damage before Yoru gets out of there. He did see the Yoru TP though, so he will speed things up. Doesn't check his corner correctly, and unfortunately, boats will fall. Mystic still trying to be the one-man army, but he has 0 time left after getting the picks needed. Almost gets the ace there. But Tarleton have clawed things back, and they find themselves in overtime.
Switching sides. Overtime.
Let's make them dance.
Now it's going to be UAA starting on the attacking side for this overtime. They were able to dodge the Skybird. Early checks go through, and they know that there's a couple of people belong. But whether or not they're going to play this or not is the bigger question. 3 players towards B, or 3 players towards A now, after that TP goes through. A little bit early from the enemy Yoru on sync, but nonetheless, still going to use it. Sprays come through. They're able to at least knock the shield off in the lap, so any sort of future duel might look very favorable for UAA. Raze also gets the shield knocked off as well, forces out a Brim Smoke. So utility-wise, things are still looking really good.
I dropped the spike.
Bomb Buddy goes out, clears some corners that we pretty much already knew were clear. I see this corner being checked every single day, Mystic. You have to know that somebody could potentially be in that corner. Beautiful shot. Dizzy shot gets through, and they finally clear the corner. Beautiful use of util. That is not what we saw from Lotus. Finally, UAA doing a really good job of using that utility to clear these corners. Beautiful stuff. As they now find themselves in man advantage for the post plant.
Oh yeah, monster on the loose.
It's going to be the Thrash that gets used. Also followed with the pick with King Wizard and Rack. And now it's all up to Mazzy. They're in a 1v4. And Mystic finally deals the final blow, so now we find ourselves at overtime match point.
Switching sides. Match point.
So things could look really good for UAA so far. They found themselves at so many match points prior. Will this be the round that they finally find the answer on defense to get over the line?
This goes here. Yes, this should do. That goes there.
Looks like they're going to be stacking towards this B side. Phoenix has to be aware that he cannot give up his life here. He jumps a little bit of questionable, so now they know that he's here. I don't think they know that he's sneaking up towards him. This is really scary. This Yoru and this Brim have been just taking sight and showers together every single round. Mystic's actually going to TP now. As he TPs out, swings come through, and they're able to win that duel 3v3 now. As members are trying to take side, they line up for Wizard. He's only able to find one, though. And now Spike will be playing it on towards this B side, but in a 2v2, Boats and Rack. I take them to win that any day of the week. Boats trying to look towards side. They have hookah clear. They know that this side is clear as well. They have to be sitting towards elbow. Beautiful swing, though. Comes through. Util comes out. And they're able to at least hit that, but the teamwork is just not there. The coordination was just not able to be found. Odin Spray comes through, and unfortunately, they're not able to find it.
Switching sides. Overtime.
I really like the coordination with the Brim smoke early on to begin, but
Sound sensor up. Listening.
they just weren't able to find it. Now we find ourselves back at square one, ladies and gents, sitting
Follow protocol.
at 13-13. Rack looking to find any sort of opening possible. It's going to be the Brim Smoke utilized. Forces Phoenix back a little bit, and that's going to be the wall toxin low, so the wall will go down. But Rack still has this bomb, and he's going to have to slow down a little bit if he doesn't want anyone knowing that he's rotating. Looks like he slows down a little bit. Was baiting the sound out.
30 seconds left.
It's going to be this Raze sitting in this corner. He sees the Raze. Beautiful shot from Phoenix. Rack not able to follow it up, and the trade doesn't come through as well. Still, they're trying to fight their way onto this A site and force things out. Boats has to win one, but he doesn't. Onto Sync. And now it's up to King, Wizard, and Mystic to try to find whatever they can. Flash comes through. Beautiful stuff from the Yoru, but it's going to be Mystic still to find the kill with only 2 seconds. He's able to at least get the plant down. Flash comes through. King Wizard has to protect now. In a 2v2 post-plant scenario, it was the same 2 members from previously. Mystic at least gets the read that he's sitting in lamps. He's able to get the kill. Huge stuff. Showstopper goes down now. And with Deadlock sitting at barely any health, shot comes through. But oh my god, Mystic loses it. And now Deadlock is still 1 health. But this is completely wallbangable. Still shots come through and Wizard wins it. Huge 1v1 there. In what could have been a drastic loss.
Switching sides. Match point.
UAA once again at match point. We might be here all night, ladies and gentlemen, especially if this goes to map 3. Holy.
This goes here. Oh, this is a nice spot.
Looks like it's going to be an extremely fast B hit here as the Yoru TP goes online, but Wizard's just unaware that the Yoru is just in his face.
Spike planted.
This is the third round now that they've been able to take this site. Unfortunately, Phoenix will get caught out with the flank there. But that still has added pressure towards the backside. Spray comes through, and they're finally doing the wall bang. Just not long enough to try to get any sort of picks. That's going to be the Skybird that comes through. They are able to look it off. Yuto comes through, and they're able to at least get onto site. That's going to be Mystic that jumps through. He's able to get one, and now it's a 1v1 with Mystic to end the game. But he's going to have to bait it out, and despite getting the kill, the game continues. 14-14. We find ourselves in triple overtime.
Switching sides. Overtime.
This goes here.
All right, UAA back at it again on the attacking side. After what has been a game that has felt like millennia. It's going to be blocked off by the wall there. I would have loved Rax shooting that wall. Because now that the wall's there, it pretty much gives intel, knowing that, I mean, they don't really have to worry about shower, but actually, little did I know, the deadlock wall lasts literally, like, apparently 10 seconds. So there's no reason for them to worry about that at all. And he's going to come through, alongside with the flashes as well. Double satchel onto sight, or towards the elbow, rather. Gets a beautiful shot onto Nalaps there, follows it up with a pick onto Mazzy. And once again, 5v3 up UAA. Wingman's going to get this plant down. Euroclone will be shot, but Mystic has been just a thorn in the side for Tarleton, sitting at 42-19. Looking to find some more. Still, though, he has to try to secure the round for his team. Able to clean up that raise, but he's going to fall. And with no lineups in hand, still a 3v2. Very winnable for Tarleton. Rim lineup will come through, actually, towards the Molly. Beautiful stuff. Now 1v1 Phoenix, though, wins it out, denies the ace for sync. And UAA find themselves at match point for the 10th time.
Yes, this should do.
This game has been going on forever.
This goes here. Yes, this should do.
But now UA find themselves on the defense side. They have to know that Tarleton have loved this B side, so they are easily leaning towards it. Could this be the round that UA finally take it all? I love now that Phoenix is sitting extremely far back. Very scary spot, though. A very wall-bangable spot. It's actually a pretty common wall bang towards trips, so he has to be careful where he's sitting at. But as that wall comes up, Mystic starts us off with a nice pick. They have to know that that's a Yoru clone. Thankfully, we're not shooting it this time. But at least slows things down for Tarleton. As we find ourselves in a 5v4 advantage, TP comes through, so they know that they're leaning towards this A side. This could be it, but Sync has other things to say about it. Phoenix has to stay alive for his wires to come through. TP comes through on the backside of sight, but Sync is still clawing them out of these unwinnable situations, and all of a sudden they're going to TP. UAA has to turn their heads now, as they know that they're going towards this side. Wizard goes straight to elbow. Brim Molly will come through, and this plan all of a sudden is going down for Tarleton as they've turned the tides completely. They're all gonna fight towards this elbow side. Flash comes through, but doesn't blind anyone. Wizard gets one though. So close to getting the second. But the Odin from Boats is able to get the next 2v2. We've always seen this deadlock in Sky constantly in these 2v2 situations. Rack, however, is unfortunately not going to see it in time. He wins the duel. But the time is ticking. They have to find this player quick. They know that he's close left. Boats goes for the swing. Oh my god.
Switching sides.
We find ourselves in overtime again. Once again, this is like a sextuple overtime at this point. Both these teams fighting tooth and nail. Nobody wants to drop this series. Oh, but Dark Knight. We haven't seen him all game, but he gets the first blood. He buys a dry up in overtime. Phoenix, you have to know he's here. A little bit of a sketchy swing there, but he's able to at least get out. But now it's all gonna be up to Mystic in a swing of the ages. Down in the man advantage. Tarleton did it last round. Will UAA be able to do it this round? 3 members of Tarleton are sitting on site though. This looks very precarious for UAA, but if they're able to utilize the util correctly, they might be able to find themselves a leg on site. 2 members of Tarleton still on this A side. They're not biting for the play so far. Roomba is going to go out. Nade goes towards elbow. And the double satchel is going to come through. And the pick still goes to Mystic. Takes out Sync of all players. A beautiful pick. But Rhino still able to find Boats. Still another pick from Mystic. We see him in this spot time and time again. They still have to remember, though, that Dark Knight has the op. Rack has to be careful here and hold his poise without going for the swing. Mystic with a long-range shot from downtown. He is literally LeBron James right now. But the flank from B-Long. Phoenix has to see it. He does, but he loses the gunfight. Mystic is now on site now. Literally face-to-face with Rack. They know that they're sitting on the backside. Showstopper comes through. He wins it. Now looking for the ace to keep the team alive. Mystic loses it. Rack all alone in a 1v1 to just play time. Orb comes through. He knows he's off. And now he could go for the swing. UAA find themselves again at match point. 47-22 from Mystic. We're at match point again. The resilience from UAA. Fighting with everything they have to give.
That goes there.
All cards have been laid out on the table.
This goes here.
Every avenue, every lane, every angle has been tested. What more do these two teams have to give? How deep can you go into the strat book?
There.
And it looks like they know that it's a B exec. That has to be the Euroclone. They know this, so they're not going to shoot it this time around. But they know that they're leaning towards this B side. Phoenix, unfortunately, catches a stray through the cyber cage. And despite getting the ult orb, they know Raze is here as well. And that just gives them too much information. They're going to rotate straight to this A site. And lying in waiting is Boats. What can Boats do to try to stop this onslaught? 2 members of Tarleton are still lying in waiting, but the TP comes through as well. Raisenade's going to go through. And this spike is planted on B. Or on A, rather. And things are going to be dire straits for UAA. What can Rack and Boats do for the early time being? Trying to look for any sort of pick possible. They know that Sync is towards Shower. But how are they going to be able to fight towards this lamp side? Molly comes through to deny things for the time being, and they're going to have to swing towards this front side. Skybird comes through. So much util being dumped, and Sync's going to win the first fight. TP comes through. He's going to be on default. They know that the TP came through, but as time ticks down, things took way too long. Rack gets 2, and it's all up to King Wizard. But ladies and gentlemen, once again, we're at overtime.
Switching sides. Overtime.
Get DJ Khaled in the studio, because we have another one. Holy, 16-16. I mean, how much longer can these two teams go? 47-23 from Mystic. Sync has really stepped things up this game, taking it to the space for Dark Knight.
Toxins going up. Down.
Early fight towards this B long. This fight could spell everything. As Mystic finds himself in a 1v2. He wins the swing. Raisenade goes through. No swing from Dark Knight, however. And the swing's going to come through. Mystic, no! He loses it! Still was able to do a ton of damage towards Dark Knight. And UAA still find themselves leaning towards this B side. Will Phoenix be able to find this lurk pick onto the Brim? Does he check the corner? Brim wins it! UAA have always found themselves at match point. But are they going to be able to do the same this time around? King Wizard checks the correct corner. Boats wins the next one. And we find ourselves up numbers 3-2.
30 seconds left.
Spike will go down. And Boats is going to go straight to playing his lineup that he has. Boats lying and waiting. Looks like Tarleton have taken the site. Molly will go down to shut off B long. Nade's not going to catch anything. This Molly has to be shot. It's going to be. But the stick comes through. Deadlock still not able to win the next duel. But still in 2v1. From the depths, being down in a 3v4 situation. UAA finally claw it back. And they find themselves once again at match point. But will they be able to win it this time? Who knows? Timeout goes through. And a timeout comes out from Tarleton as they find themselves once again on the back foot. They just haven't been able, no team actually has been able to defend this map for anything. So, any site has practically been free. The one thing, though, that UA has been doing a really good job is their initial holds on a site. But the mid-round calls have to be better. They have to be. To know when a team is going to rotate, to know when a team is going to, fall back onto a site, they have to be rotating a lot quicker, and that's what UA has to be talking about right now. They're setting up in such good spots, but sometimes the spots are a little too good to where they have no exit. For example, Mystic did a really good job at responding to the B pressure, and he sat himself top on this ledge over here. But this has no exit. Literally the shortest exit you can do when it's safe is going towards this elbow side. And because of that, you really don't have really many exits to do that would actually be time effective.
Launching smoke.
Boats unfortunately loses the fight towards Rhino. After, though, we were able to get a first early pick. So now Sync is down of all players. But what can Phoenix do onto the side? He finds a wallbang onto Rhino. And now still trying to find themselves in the man advantage to try to get any sort of picks possible. It's going to be Rack, but he loses the fight on the Lamps. And Phoenix loses it as well. We're now all of a sudden down in effectively a 1v3, given the fact that Wizard has little to no health, but Mystic putting the team on his back, sitting with 48 in kills. Make that 49. What can he find now after evening out the numbers? 2 satchels in his back pocket. Dizzy goes out. He knows that they're sitting here. He knows that they're there. They have to be forced now to go for any sort of swings. Mystic unable to go for the defense now, and Nalaps gets the double kill. We're at overtime again.
Switching sides.
Once again, overtime. I have lost count at this point, ladies and gentlemen, but this can't go on any longer.
Listening. Sound sensor up.
UAA, let's see what they do. Looks like they're leaning towards this A side. This A shower side, but Dark Knight is sitting here lying and waiting. Had a couple of wall bangs, but not able to field the final blow. (17-17). You cannot make this out, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this has to be a record for the longest overtime in competitive play. I don't care if it's collegiate. I don't care if we're in Division 7. This has to be a record. UAA have found themselves trying to go towards this A side. But Dark Knight actually finds himself in a little bit of a rock and a hard place as he has to hop over this wire. I don't know if Phoenix actually heard that. And now Mazzy is going to be forced to go here. Phoenix sees him and gets a free pick. Beautiful stuff, but on the side of sight, it's going to be Wizard that unfortunately falls. And Wizard, or Phoenix rather, all of a sudden finds themselves in a 1v4. Everybody on site unfortunately lost the battles. And now Tarleton finds themselves up, finally winning a defender round in UAA for the first time in 10, 15, 20 overtimes. I've lost count. It's like I'm in a time chamber. UAA are now on the back foot, and they have to win this defense round.
That goes there. Yes, this should do. Oh, this is a nice spot.
I like this play from the UAA. I like this look. They haven't done it yet, so finding this shower side would be really strong for them. They're not really playing too close to each other until now, so I like this for the time being. But it looks like they split up a little bit. It's going to be the raised bot that's utilized from Dark Knight, so that's at least some utility that's pulled.
Toxins going up.
But still, they have no clue where these players are. It's going to be Phoenix that actually gets some information. He actually sees Yoru shaking his head here. So they know that they're leaning towards this B side. I like the fact that Rack and Mystic are still on A. But still, Now that they're starting to hold on util, this execution is going to start on B site. I'm not a fan. Or actually, no, okay. I thought that wizard was in Hall for a second. I was about to scream. Swings are going to come through. He at least sees the brim, but Sync will start things off with the first pick. And this site is free for the taking. Wizard has to hold things down. Boat's able to get one, but Mazi is able to find two. And this could spell the death of UAA. 2v4 for the dynamic duo of Mystic and Rack. What can they do to keep UAA alive in this series? Mystic looking for any sort of swing possible. Swing comes through. We get the vision on the Yoru, but the shots come through and Rack is barely at any health remaining. We have to make a swing now. The time is just of the essence.
Player standing.
And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it. 19-17, all that time for the L. It's so unfortunate, but ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it. Our Valorant team, unfortunately, gets dealt the first loss of the season. Unfortunately for them, after a long fought battle, they're not able to find themselves on top. And ladies and gentlemen, we're unfortunately going to have to see you tomorrow for Marvel Rivals, looking hopefully for a better result. We'll see you then, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for everyone that showed up.